Hi guys. It is Wednesday and I'm happy to be back to chat with you because sometimes it takes me a good week to decide where we're going to go with our conversation because I want to make sure I have all the information and I give you the correct information. So today I want to go back to that topic that we had last time when we were talking about the origins of words and phrases. And I want to go a little further with you there. I'll tell you why I want to. The words that I'm going to, or the words and phrases I'm going to show you and talk to you about today, I've heard them within the last year. So I feel like since I've heard them recently, it's probably a good idea that we talk about them because we're all learning and growing. That's what we're doing. Systematic racism is really, really deep. It's it's deep. So it's like a layer. We gotta pull off layers. It's like a parfait of hate. That doesn't work, does it? Nobody looks at a parfait and hates it. That's a terrible. That doesn't work, Shauna. Anyways, it's like a lot of layers. So as long as we keep learning and growing and calling out racist behavior, we're gonna get through those layers one day. Okay? So let's talk. So I've got a couple words here I want to talk to you about and phrases. For example, peanut gallery. Well, this seems innocent enough, doesn't it? Peanuts, I enjoy that. Galleries are lovely. What could possibly be wrong here? Well, it's the origin. It's a racist origin. Sorry, I hate to be the bearer of this information. Let's talk about its origins. Let's go way back to the vaudeville era. Is it vaudevillian? The vaudevillian era? That just doesn't sound right. Let's just say the vaudeville era of theater. So the theaters had the colored section. By the way, unless you legit are in a 1945 drama series, you don't use that word anymore. Colored is not, we don't describe Black people as colored. That's enough, okay? Back to Peanut Gallery. The colored part of the theater, which were the cheapest and most awful seats, were the only seats available to the Black community. So, why is the word peanut in it? Well, let me explain. Also, let me apologize for the lack of information I have regarding vaudeville theater. But from what I have looked up and figured out, the peanut is because I guess when the people were performing, you would throw either peanuts or tomatoes regarding how well you thought their performance were. So the peanut gallery is often where the shells would end up all over the ground and you don't want to be in that area. So the thing is, nobody wanted to sit in the peanut gallery and nobody wanted to hear from anybody in the peanut gallery. The peanut gallery meaning the Black people at the theater. So let's put this one to bed. Good night forever. Next one. Uppity. No. Let me tell you the origins of uppity. Uppity was a word created by, white slave owners that ended up a word they used when a slave was getting out of their lane. For example, maybe trying to have eye contact, not leaving the sidewalk when a white person was coming. Yeah, these are real things that were ridiculous. Basically, throughout most of the Obama administration, you could catch a lot of white people hashtag uppity when referring to Barack and Michelle. Basically, it's a racist term that tries to make you not feel proud of who you are, not be strong, not be able to stand up for what you know is right because you're Black and you should be staying in your lane. So uppity. We don't use that one anymore. That one is done. And here's one that's just going to get confusing. And I'm sorry already. articulate. Shauna, that's not a bad word. No, go ahead. Google it right now. Pull out the old dictionary and Google away. No, it's not a bad word. I'm going to explain why I don't like it and why you should be weary of hearing it. We all know what articulate means. It means you can speak fluently and clearly. You're a good speaker. You are clear with how you're talking. People understand where you're coming from, okay? It goes way beyond just being a really good public speaker. Here's the problem with it, and especially as of late. When everything began and the protests started and the rioting started, there was a video going around with a black woman who decided to post all these videos about how she thought this was wrong and there shouldn't be a Black Lives Matter movement, and garbage and garbage and garbage and garbage. I'm going to tell you something also, by the way. If when you find out that a man is murdered in broad daylight because of the color of his skin, and you are more concerned about the fact that Target lost a couple of windows because people were just outraged, then you're racist. And if you find out that the protest is beginning and the Black Lives Matter movement is beginning, and you are desperately searching for one black person to agree with your nonsense, you're racist. So when this all began, I received 4, count them, 1, 2, 3, 4 videos from 4 different white people that I know. In each one of these messages, in each one of them, they said, Shauna, check out this video. She's really articulate. That's weird, because I have never received a video of a white person talking about something. And I receive, everybody shares videos about, whatever. People, sometimes you share what I'm yammering about, right? So that would be like sharing my video as a white person and then putting, boy, she's really articulate. You know what you're actually saying? Yeah, you guessed it. What you're actually saying is, normally I don't think black people are articulate, so this is pretty impressive. Good for them. Yeah, no. The word itself, not a problem. Using it to describe black people because you don't think they're normally articulate, big, big problem. No more. Next one. This pretty much just speaks for itself, to be quite honest with you. But I did hear somebody using this phrase a couple months ago regarding some business deal that went wrong. And I just had to say to him, no, buddy, not a good description. I'm pretty sure we could put our heads together and figure out where this originated, right? So basically, back to the slave days. And I might be wrong on the river exactly. It could be the Mississippi. But basically, they would rip people from their families and place them on this boat to go further south to the plantations, the cotton plantations. The issue here, well, there's so many issues there. But when you got on that boat, you knew that was the end of your life, because the conditions of these working plantations were awful. They were awful. So you basically knew you were heading somewhere to work yourself to death. Being ripped from your family, not knowing where they're all going to be sold either. So when somebody would say that they were sold down the river, it means you're heading to your death. You're going to work yourself to death. So no, not a business deal. No, something much more tragic and much more real than that. So those are, one more. I've talked to you about this before. Here's my problem. I've recently heard kids using this to pick people. Now, they didn't use the N-word, they used the tiger. But the reality is, no. This was created with the N-word. It is nasty little rhyme, and we don't use it. There are many different ways to pick your partners in the playground. Please don't teach your children to use this. I can't tell you how many times I had to hear this growing up in the schoolyard. it made my blood boil and the hair stand up on the back of my neck every time I heard somebody begin this. Please don't. There are many different things. We don't even have the time for me to get on how many childhood songs and rhymes are racist. Maybe another day. Thanks for growing and learning with me, guys. Catch you on the flip side.